इदं पञ्चकं यः पठेत् शुद्धचित्तः सदा मोक्षमार्गे नितान्तं प्रवृत्तः प्रसादात् शास्तुर्भवेत् ज्ञानयुक्तः स जीवन् मृतो वा भवेत् नित्यमुक्तः दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीरे
दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीरे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीरे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीरे।
श्री गुरु कृपया वेद्मि स्वात्मानमीश्वरं गुरुम् अभेदेन यतस्तस्मात् नमोऽस्तु गुरवे सदा। नाहं जाने कलां विद्यां सेवां नास्ति हिरण्यकम् दक्षिणार्थं यतस्तस्मात् नमोऽस्तु गुरवे सदा। अनाथो किञ्चनो नाथ कृतघ्नत्वापनुत्तये नमस्करोम्यतस्तुभ्यं नमोऽस्तु गुरवे सदा। नमोऽस्तु गुरवे सदा। नमोऽस्तु गुरवे सदा।
गुरुस्तोत्रम्। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्न विराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्यो यः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चैतन्य शाश्वत शान्तः व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढः तत्त्वमाला विभूषितः भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाता च तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोः पादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरहितं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथः श्रीजगन्नाथः मद्गुरुः श्रीजगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिर्नादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतम् गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। गुरुवन्दनम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुस्तुतिः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्। एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः शांति मंत्र ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मामा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Passage number 7. सा इयं देवता ऐक्षत हन्त अहम् इमास्तिस्रो देवताः अनेन जीवेन आत्मना अनुप्रविश्य नामरूपे व्याकरवाणीति तद्देवता called Sat Aikshata further deliberated. The first deliberation resulted into the creation of the three elements, fire, water and earth. And also further, as we explained in the morning, Trivit Karanam, how the tamas aspect of these three elements got combined mutually, from which we have the three gross elements, or five gross elements. And now the Devata says that let me enter these three Devatas as Jivatma, because we will account for both the sentient as well as insentient beings. So, from the three gross elements, a gross universe as well as a gross body is all created. But that accounts for all insentient entities. How do we account for the sentient beings. So here the Devata says, may enter now there as the Jivatma, as Jivatma may enter. Jiva means pranadharana, and that's when that sustains a life. So in these bodies, the Devata Sat, meaning Satchidananda Param Brahma Paramatma entered as Jiva. What is meant by entering? Now what entering is used, but that is not to be understood in primary sense. The entering is similar to the space entering this part. The space was there, very much there, before even part was created. And so there cannot be part without the space. So space is already there within the part. So when you say the space entered the part, as though there was no space in the part and the space entered a spaceless part, it's not so. Space is already there before the creation of part and while the part is. So what is meant by the space entering the part? In the morning said, it is space identifying with the part. Meaning that in the space, this notion, I am the part space, is born. Similarly, entering this body mind sense complex is not entering in a primary sense because Sat, which is consciousness, is there already as consciousness, asti, bhati, priyam. It is there in this body already, but now it enters as life. Understand that this consciousness and sentiency are two slightly different things. Consciousness and sentiency are two different things. Very often we confuse sentiency with consciousness. So generally we feel that there is consciousness in all living beings and there is no consciousness in inert things such as tables and chairs. Is there consciousness in this table? Yeah. Is there consciousness in the table, in the book? This inert, lifeless, is there consciousness? I think they know the answer. When asking question in this way, it is safe to say yes. How is it, sir? How do you say there is consciousness in this table? You are conscious of the table. But does table have consciousness? When I do that, does table respond? You do something like, I will respond. So we know that the way the lifeless things conduct is different from the way living things conduct themselves. Not so? The response is different. So how do you say there is consciousness, table and chair and inner things? In consciousness is Sat. So if there is no consciousness in these tables and chairs, means there is no Sat in them. Which means by knowing Sat, they will not be known. You see, the point is, Sat is the material cause of everything. Therefore, by knowing Sat, you know everything. Just by knowing the clay, you know everything made of clay is also. If Sat is the material cause, then by knowing Sat, you know everything. Sat is Chit. Sat means Asti, existence. It is self-revealing. That also we demonstrated. I am is existence. And I am is known to me effortlessly. I know. I'm conscious that I am. So that I am is self-revealing. Sat is also Chit or consciousness. And I am has no dimension. Has no boundary. Is Ananda. So Ananda. So Sat is Chit and Chit is Ananda. Is there Satchit Ananda in this table? What is consciousness? Satchit Ananda means consciousness. Because Chit means consciousness. Conscious also is Sat, is also Ananda. So Satchit Ananda is consciousness, right? Chit is consciousness. Chit is the same as Sat, existence. So is there Satchit Ananda in this table? Is there? In what way? Yes, Asti, Bhati, Priyam. A thing cannot exist without Asti being there. Sat provides existence to this. Chit, because of this, it reveals, is revealed in my consciousness. Ananda is because it is dear to me in given situation, therefore it becomes the source of happiness to me. So sentiency is one thing and consciousness is different thing. What is sentiency? In the living beings where we have what we call subtle body. So where the subtle body is, it is consciousness alone that manifests everywhere in every all names and forms. But that consciousness called Asti Bhati Priyam manifests as an inner thing, insentient thing in all these tables and chairs. Whereas in what we call living beings, the same consciousness manifests as sentiency, as life. What's the difference? Because the tables and chairs do not have subtle body, whereas the living beings have subtle body. So where the subtle body is same, the manifestation of consciousness is different. It is not that consciousness is present or absent, but in the entities, names and forms which do not possess subtle body, consciousness merely manifests as existence. Where there is subtle body, and consciousness also manifests as life. So manifestation of sentiency, as we are sentient, life is because of the presence of subtle body. So that is what is being explained here. That in what we call the sentient beings, the consciousness of Sat entered as Jivena Atmana, as Jiva Atma, as a life, as life. What is Jiva? Jim Pranadharane. One that sustains life is called Jiva. So here, in what we call sentient being, same Astivadipyam manifests as life. So that is how those which are insentient entities, Astivadipyam, manifest as just existence. Those which are living beings, same Astivadipyam, manifest as sentiency. So insentient and sentient are the differences because of the absence or presence of subtle body is not because of absence or presence of Asti Bhadi Prem. And Asti Bhadi Prem is called consciousness, understand? It's very important. Not only sentiency. Asti Bhadi Prem. Why? Because Asti Bhati is consciousness. And Asti is self-evident. So call it consciousness, call it existence, call it Ananda. It's all the same as Asti, Bhati, Priyam, existence, consciousness, wholeness. Even in this table, there is consciousness. It's very difficult to understand that, difficult to accept it. You say, yes, you nod your head, all right. But still in our mind, you can there's consciousness in this table. Let us say existence in the table. Meaning Asti Bhadi Priyam, the primary manifestation in sentient is merely existence. Even though the Chit and Ananda are there, they are not evident to us. Whereas Chit or sentiency becomes evident in living beings, and Ananda becomes evident in human being. So human being represents the most evolved entity. The evolution is in form of manifestation of consciousness and ananda. Sentiency and ananda. So trees also have sentiency. They also have joy. As this Upanishad itself will describe, look at this tree, it is drinking water and you can see how happy it is. So those who can perceive, they see the tree also happy. So there is ananda in tree, but that manifestation is very minuscule. You follow? The happiness of birds is very evident. You can see how they are flying this way and that way in certain formations. They seem to be enjoying themselves. So ananda is more evident and becomes more and more evident. In animals, it becomes even more evident. In human being, it becomes the most evident. Meaning that human being has the potential of manifestation of total ananda. We need not do anything for a manifestation of Sat, Asti, or Chit. What is the sadhana? What is evolution? What is spiritual evolution? It is bringing into manifestation the manifestation of Ananda. We can spend the whole life in achieving variety of worldly things without becoming happier person. Understand? Possible that I can become very wealthy, very famous, very powerful. Wealth, fame, and power. The wealthy, the famous, the powerful, But we equate them with happiness which we need not. Happiness is function of the mind. And purer the mind is, more sattvic the mind is, more is the manifestation of happiness. So real purushartha or the effort in our life should be for being a successful person is to bring about the manifestation of happiness which is potentially there. Potentially I am Anandaha, Satchidanandoham, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, I am Purnaha. But that Purnatvam, that wholeness, that completeness, that Ananda is not manifest. The Sat existence is manifest, no effort is required, no big deal. Chit that I am aware also is manifest, nothing is to be done. But that I am happy is not is not natural or is not effortless. And really what we want in our life is happiness. Existence also we want. Meaning that we want to continue living as long as we can, no doubt. We have love for immortality. That shows love to be for existence. And we want to be conscious, not unconscious, being, I don't know, in coma and stuff like that. I want to be alive and existent. But not only I want to be alive and existent, I want to be happily alive, understand? And therefore, happiness becomes the primary goal in our life. In any life, in human life. So, Ananda is the real destination, Purushartha. Now, unfortunately, this is called Maya. The Maya creates in us the delusion is the delusion that Ananda is in fame, power, wealth. That is Ananda is. This is the kind of notion that we entertain, that human beings entertain. Not only that, the leaders also make us believe that more you have, happier you are. Wealthier you are, happier you are. More famous you are, happier you are. More powerful you are, happier you are. More powerful you are. You can control, you can dominate. So ego gratification is equated to the success. This wealth, fame, power, all gratify ego. Of course, we seek sense gratification also, but there is a limit to what you can enjoy or experience through sense organs because our sense organs are limited things. How much can you eat? You can enjoy food, but how much? You can enjoy, the sights and stuff like that, but there's going to be a limit. So sense gratification is also there. Emotional gratification also is there. Intellectual gratification also is there. And finally, ego gratification. This gratification is what we are seeking because we feel happy when we are gratified. So, of course, when I experience the pleasant objects of senses, I feel happy. When emotionally also, I have the company of the people whom I love, I'm happy. Intellectually also, when I, see new places and new things, I'm happy. Or know new things. Swami, did you hear about the latest discoveries in the physics and chemistry? And they're very exciting. In the astronomy. And then comes the ego gratification. The wealth and fame and power give me ego gratification. That's subtlest gratification. So we think this is happiness, this is success. And then human being is out to amass more and more sense gratification, more and more emotional gratification, more and more intellectual gratification, more and more ego gratification. This is what human life is. Because Maya believes that that's what happiness is. It's out there. In sense objects, it is there. So sense gratification. In the things that I love, also emotional gratification, intellectual gratification, ego gratification. It's called success. Not realizing that happiness is not where I think it is. It is my very nature. That is why all that happiness that comes by gratification is binding happiness. Vishayendriya sanyogat yattadagre amritopamam pariname vishamiva tat sukham rajasam smritam. That which sounds or tastes very sweet in the beginning but turns out bitter at the end is all happiness coming from gratification. Called rajasam sukham. Happiness born of rajas, rajoguna. Yattadagre vishamiva pariname amritopamam tat sukham satvikam proktam atmabuddhi prasadayam. But that which in the beginning appears to be a little bitter, a little painful, but turns out to be sweet at the end. That's called sattvic sukha. Because sattvic sukha means what? We have to cultivate sattva in our mind. We have to get rid of rajastamas, ragadvesha, attachment. Now that causes pain. To give up ragadvesha, even though they are the causes of misery, I think they are my friends. The problem is ragadveshas or attachment aversions are causing me all the pain. But I think that they are my friends and they cause me happiness because whenever raga dvesha is satisfied, I temporarily feel happy. Not realizing that satisfying raga causes more raga, satisfying dvesha causes more dvesha. And thus I'm trapped, I'm controlled. I become more and more controlled by raga dvesha, I become more and more the slave. So this is path of bondage, which is what the whole human society has adopted. There cannot be anything but misery. Because we are going against the principle. We are going against the fundamental principle. We are searching, the tenth man is searching for the tenth man where he is not. Someone, oh, looks like, oh, that is the tenth man. So he may be happy for a moment. He goes and, oh, he's not tenth man. I saw tenth man, I saw somebody there. He goes there. Looks like, momentarily he was happy, then he finds out, no, he's not what I was looking for. There's constant disappointments in the human life as long as one is searching for happiness and success out there. One cannot be happy. If they're happy, we have to close these books. One can become happy by gratification. In Vedanta has no place at all. Only when, but then it takes a long time to recognize that strength that I'm not getting anywhere. But you better have some experience of gratification before recognizing gratification is no good. Without that experience, if Vairag has given up everything, not experienced any gratification, and then later it's quite likely that some unsatisfied desires for gratification may take hold of you. So that's why we said get some experience, achieve something in the world, feel good about your ego gratification, some sense gratification, some gratification. You know what it is. You know what it is, then they will not distract you. If you don't know what it is, it may not distract you. Depends upon, you can be an evolved person. It's not necessary that you have to go through the samsara to become free from samsara. But generally. So people, Swami, why don't we teach children this Vedanta? But they should go through samsara, unfortunately, to know what samsara is, to become, to have a desire to become free from that and grow out of it. But why do you want to walk through mud and then you want to wash your feet? That's what it seems to be, in most cases. But that's, by the way, this answer the question, why don't you teach Vedanta and Vairagya to children? You would understand what Vairagya is. He may have his own interpretation on Vairagya is. That kind of Vairagya he may adopt and then later on discover that there was a disillusionment there also. But only when we recognize as our own experience or understanding that this gratification is not the answer to my seeking happiness, that I am seeking permanent happiness. These little bits and pieces, dukkham, 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 sukham, dukkham, dukkham, dukkham. This is what Swami used to say. That little happiness comes in the series of dukkha, then I get fed up with it. Then you will never go there. A child, in the beginning doesn't know what is what, so it sees a flame like lamp, wants to catch it. Hey, don't do that. And it will catch it when we are not. Then it gets, who? Now you said that, who? Then it won't go itself, Having discovered what that flame is, that is Vairagya. I'm not saying that you should get burned in order to become, but very often that seems to be the unfortunate the case. That we have to suffer to recognize that life has to take a turn. But anyway, so we started all the discussion, asti consciousness, that is ananda. The most potential is in human being. And that is a purushartha. Sooner we understand, better it is. So what is purushartha? Is cultivating sattva. That is where ananda becomes manifest. It is rajas and tamas, raga dvesha that actually block the manifestation of ananda. Nothing obstructs the manifestation of sat. The manifestation of asti and bhakti or sat and chit are blocked or obstructed by anything. But the experience of ananda is obstructed by the presence of rajas and tamas ragadvesha. So experience ananda, we have to get rid of rajas tamas. And they don't go. They become very rooted. They have found their home. They find tea and coffee, etc. with us. So they are not going to go away. Sometimes guests come and they stay. You treat them so well. Then you do something for them to go anywhere. These are old stories I'm telling you. See, raga dveshas, as long as we entertain them, so long, as long as we think that, because when raga dvesha is satisfied, there is temporary happiness, no doubt. Even when anger arises, when anger is satisfied, I do something out of anger and then I take revenge, I'm happy momentarily. When greed, jealousy arises in me and I find that fellow of whom I am jealous falls down, I'm happy. That is what he deserves. So even when this negative thing is said is momentary, there is happiness. So we think that's how to become happy. By satisfying the impulses of raga dveshas. You can see people while watching this soccer game, football game, 100,000 people watching in South America. People are like giving blood, you know. So they want, and then when they lose, the whole country is depressed. India, it happens with cricket anyway. We ourselves get depressed watching that. I don't watch cricket unless our people are winning. What is the score? What's the trend? Are we winning? Then I will watch it. Otherwise, I don't. That is the gratification that comes from satisfying your ragadvesha. Now and then you may take that liberty, but no, if you keep on doing that, then you are ragadveshas control you. But it's all the happiness that we know. Or that's the human being. And that's the happiness they want to provide you. The political leadership and economic leadership, all these fellows have vested interest in controlling you by providing you this. So they provide you new objects of gratification. So what's a new car? Have you driven a Ford lately? Swami used to quote this. This and that they used to announce uh, the Ford commercial, Ford motor car. Have you driven a Ford lately? Meaning Ford changes all the time. What you drove is not what this is. So drive this one. Anyway, the point is that so since we are vulnerable people with raga dveshas and having concluded that ragas gratification raga dvesha is happiness, they will provide you to fulfill you, satisfy your raga dvesha. And knowing very well that more you satisfy them, more you're going to crave for them. So they'll keep on providing new formally every year, new cell phone game. Then every 6 months it will come. iPhone 5, wow, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And people will get fed up with that. Then you'll get iPhone, something else they'll bring. You can see what's happening in the world and how people are trapped in this whole thing, this whole wrong perception of life. This is called Maya. What is Maya? Maya makes us see something where it is not, makes us see happiness where it is not, and keeps us revolving around and around like the 10 revolves round and round. It's not merry-go-round. Some used to call it sorrow go round. That's how life is. It's not funny at all, really. It's not funny. When parents see now all of you people are coming here and you see your children doing the same thing. So what to do with them now? You can't do anything. They have to recognize it themselves. You can try to advise them, but who are you? Like Shvetagata is not ready to listen. You have to be something like Uddaraka, his father, who knows where to prick. Shvetagata basically had the right samskaras. That is why, not just by one question you can turn around. He had that samskara. But something distracted him. And the father was able to bring him back to the track. Anyway, going back to the old thing like sentient, insentient, there's but consciousness is everywhere. But the manifestation of consciousness is different in different names and forms. In what we call insentient entities, only Sat is predominantly manifest. Then as evolution takes place, the Chit starts manifesting. From a unicellular organism right up to the human being, the most evolved organism, the manifestation of chit or sentiency evolves. But they equate that to evolution of consciousness. This is where we differ from science. When science talks of evolution, they think consciousness is evolving. It is sentiency that is evolving. They equate sentiency and consciousness. What is evolving? Sentiency is evolving. Consciousness does not evolve. It is always complete. And it is nitya, is nirvikara, is always there, full and no evolution in Atman, in consciousness. What is evolution? In sentiency. In what way? What is sentiency? It is nothing but this organism, which is the medium of manifestation of consciousness. So, what is evolving is the bulb. Formerly the 5 watt bulb, 10 watt bulb, 50 watt bulb, 100 watt bulb. The bulb was not electricity. You think electricity is evolving? No. So what is evolving is bulb, namely organism is evolving from unicellular all the way up to this most complex organism. Organism is the medium of manifestation of consciousness in the form of sentiency. Consciousness is electricity. This is like the bulb. So bulb evolves. Electricity was the same. So what evolves is sentiency. So Swamiji, does Vedanta accept evolution? Yes, but not the way science thinks is evolution. Science thinks that consciousness evolves. No. Consciousness was created. When there was a primordial soup, then consciousness was created. No. What does Vedanta say? Vedanta says that the organic organism, which is the medium of manifestation of consciousness, that got created from carbohydrate and stuff like that. The, the organic, the organism got manifest, which is the medium for manifestation of consciousness, ascendancy. All right, so I think that will go on and on. But the thing is that uh, Asti Bhati Priyam is everywhere. So Devada says that now let me enter this as Jiva so that now sentient beings are evolved. So that's how wherever this Devata Asti Bhati Priyam Jivena Atmana Anupravishanam Rupe Vyakarvani entering as Jivatma, then I will manifest the names and forms. So now that accounts for both the kinds of entities, insentient entities and sentient entities. In insentient entities also Asti Bhadipam is entered. In sentient entity it is entered specifically the Jivatma. So method of entry, it is entered here also, enter here also. But here, in what we call sentient entities, it is entered as Jivatma, sustaining life. Nama Rupe, Vyakarvani, may I bring the manifestation, names and forms. Vyakaranam is clear manifestation. So you have to make note of this word. May I bring to manifestation the names and forms. Not may I create names and forms. Bring to manifestation names and forms. For example, when the various ornaments are created from lump of gold, you can call them creation in a loose sense. But ornaments are not created. Ornaments are brought to manifestation. Meaning that in a lump of gold, the ornaments are potentially there. So what does a goldsmith do? He simply brings to manifestation what is already there in unmanifest form. Isn't that so? Otherwise, there are people, great Nayayikas, very intelligent people. You know what they say? They say that ornaments are not there in gold. Anyway, I will not burden you with too many things, but now that the topic has come, it's Asat Karyavada and Sat Karyavada. Sat Karya means the Karya or the effect is potentially present in the cause. So those who believe in Satkaryavada say that the pots and pans are potentially already there in the clay, but not manifest to the sight, and therefore they are brought to manifestation. So according to them, creation means bringing to manifestation what is already there in unmanifest state. You follow? There are some who believe that creation means creation, bringing to existence what did not exist. Usually that's called creation. What is called birth? Birth is of that which was not there. When you create crops in your farm, they were not there and they came to existence, isn't it? So they think that creation means bringing to existence which did not exist. So they say that ornaments do not exist in gold. So when you create ornaments, non existent ornaments are brought to existence. You know why I say that? If ornaments are already there, why do you need a pot maker to make pot? If you say that pots and pans are already there in clay, why do you need a pot maker? Isn't it? You need a pot maker because they are already there. The fact that you need a pot maker to make pots and pans means that they were not there and pot maker has brought them into existence. So what does the pot maker do? They say that he creates not existing pots and pans. Vedanta says he brings to manifestation existing names and forms. So pot maker merely brings to manifestation what is already there in the clay. Otherwise, if they did not exist in clay, if non-existent pots and pans are created, then in clay, not only pots and pans do not exist, idli also doesn't exist in clay. Then you should be able to bring out idli also. If that we say the tree exists in the seed, that's the cause. If tree does not exist in seed, according to them, from a seed, any tree should come out, isn't it? Then you plant a lemon tree, a lemon seed, and a mango, should come out. Because mango did not exist in that seed, and still it comes out. But no, in lemon seed, only lemon tree is potentially there, so it comes out. In mango seed, the mango tree is potentially there, therefore it becomes manifest. So Vedanta and Ninja Satkaryavadina, they say that the effect is already potentially there in the cause, in the causal form, and what is meant by creation is bring to manifestation what is already there in the unmanifest or causal or potential state. So tree is already there. Where? In the seed. We don't see it, you don't see it, but it's potentially there. So what you do is to bring to manifestation what is potential. Nowadays you can see it also. With microscope they can show you the trees, some basic elements of tree can be seen even in the seed. Those days they did not have those kind of equipment. But anyway, coming back to the statement, when the Devata or God says that may I create, he says, may I bring to manifestation, see, Nam Rupe Vyakarvani, in the seventh, I shall clearly manifest name and form. See the translation? In the seventh passage, the last verse, I shall clearly manifest name and form. Manifest. What is manifest? Manifest is that which can be perceived by sense organs. That which can be perceived by manifest sense organs called manifest or vyakta. In Sanskrit, vyakta or manifest is that which can be perceived by sense organs. Avyakta, unmanifest. That which is there but cannot be perceived by sense organs. So sun is already shining in the sky, and still because of the cover of clouds, you may not see the sun, right? When the clouds move away, you see the sun. Is it that a non-existent sun is seen or an existent sun is seen? Existent, when manifest, has become manifest. So whatever was the obstruction to the manifestation, in this case cloud, when that obstruction goes away, what is already there becomes manifest. So Upanishad says that this God, Sat, deliberated, may clearly manifest the names and forms. So whole universe was brought to manifestation, universe of names and forms was brought to manifestation, we're already there. How is it already there, Swamiji? It's not yet created. It was in the previous cycle of creation. So it's all cyclic creation. Creation, sustenance, and dissolution. So utpatti, sthiti, pralaya. Or for us, for example, the waking and sleep. So what is sleep? Sleep is a state where my personality is unmanifest. I don't die in deep sleep. Otherwise I would not wake up. But I wake up. And as I said yesterday, our Swami said, if an idiot goes to sleep, an idiot wakes up. Meaning that whatever is potential there alone becomes manifestation. He talked about something else, but I don't want to say that. So I'm using that sentence for sleep. But anyway, so what the sleep is the causal state or unmanifest state, and waking is the effect or the manifest state. So this is how Vedanta explains creation. From unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest. You can say that when God goes to sleep, when all of us go to sleep, it's called pralaya, unmanifest state. When we all wake up, Ishvara wakes up, we all wake up. It's called manifestation, creation. As long as he keeps awake, we are all awake. Then he decides to go to sleep, pralaya, long sleep, long waking. But Swamiji, there's a previous cycle. But how what did happen in previous cycle? In previous cycle. But how about previous cycle? Previous cycle. How about the first cycle? How did this name and form come to manifest in the very first cycle when they were not there? In second cycle they were there because in first cycle they are there, so in second cycle they can become manifest. They went to sleep. But how about the first one? If you ask this question, then the Vedantin will give a little mischievous smile. There is no first one. That is very frustrating. The answer is very frustrating because I want to know where's the first one? There's no first one. You try to imagine there's no beginning. You try to imagine the beginning of anything. What is beginning? Something did not exist and came to existence is called beginning. You try to imagine in your mind that pot began. You imagine a condition pot did not exist. Imagine. Then imagine clay, but it's already there in unmanifest form. No, it's earth, then clay is in unmanifest form. Then molecules. But unmanifest form is always there, otherwise it cannot come to manifestation. So there is no such thing as non-existence. There is no such thing as first. If you accept first, they will accept non-existence. There cannot be. Even though scientists may say that with Big Bang the whole universe came out, there was nothing before that. Something cannot come out of nothing. There's long discussion which was skipped here in Chandogya. There are Vainashikas or nihilists who say that everything has come from non-existence. Now that we are on the topic, let me tell you why they say that. You say asti is. So you use this, you have a couple of more cups of coffee this evening, with all these discussions. But somehow I've gone into that track, and so what can we do? That's how my mind thinks right now. But they say that this pot is, the cloth is, the table is. This is appreciated only with reference to things that exist. But when this universe was not created, see, this is can apply to a name and form. Only with a name and form you can say part which a name and form is, cloth another name and form it is, Table and name and form is. So isness is always associated with name and form. Understand this. But you say that before creation there are no names and forms. There's no isness. You see this? What we find in our day-to-day experiences that we appreciate something is when there is a name and form. So isness always goes with name and form. Before creation, when there are no names and form, there is no isness. So what is that? Non-existence. Therefore, everything is a product of non-existence. That's what they believe. So what will Vedanta say now? Vedanta in a simple answer. They're complicated answer, but simple things. One is that if nothing existed in the beginning, now there is no such experience that something comes. If there was nothing in the beginning, it's now an experience that something comes out from nothing. There is something called the horn of the rabbit. Hmm? Can you make a bow out of that? There is something called the mirage water. Can you take a bath in that? Quench your thirst in that? Have you ever experienced that something came out of nothing? See, these fellows only talk in theory. So many beliefs are simply theory. When they argue like this, there's no experience behind it. When you have a theory that non existence is the ultimate reality, have you ever experienced that something comes from nothing? If we show one example that this came from nothing, then we can perhaps understand that maybe the whole universe came from nothing. But you can never find an example of something coming from nothing. So why they simply go in an argument, simply logic. So all their theories are derived from logic, not mixed, not based on experience. Logic should be based on experience. Otherwise, it becomes shushka tarka. It becomes only dry logic, not accompanied with any experience. All right, second argument we have is also an interesting argument that the qualities of the cause always flow into the effect. The qualities of clay always flow into the pot. So the weight of the pot, the taste of the pot, all of these come from the clay. Therefore, whenever you experience pot, you should also experience clay, isn't it? Suppose something came from nothing, all this universe. If nothing is a cause, then you know what should experience? Right now, what is my experience? Pot is, cloth is. If all came from nothing, you know what experience would be? Pot is not, cloth is not. Understand this. If is not non-existent is the cause of everything, then everywhere non-existence should pervade. So the perception is what? Cloth is not, pot is not, table is not. Is that our experience? No. Pot is, table is, cloth is. Isness always pervades everything. So isness is a cause. Unfortunately, they think that isness is because of name and form. We say the name and form is because of isness. Isness does not require name and form to be. Name and form requires isness to be. But see, you turn around, they think that isness is because name and form is, and name and form is not. Isness is not there. What do we say? Name and form is because of isness. You can't say that pot clay is because pot is. When pot will not be, clay will not be. Will you say that? Clay is not because pot is because clay is. So even if pot is not, that clay will be. See the equation? If you say that name and form is, and therefore is, and name and form is not, so is not, then this kind of crazy ideas come. So they're always looking for shunyam. Everything should become, shunyam. They may go to same atma anyway, call it shunyam, whatever it is. But the thing is, this is now we will not elaborate this further. But the thing is that what we experience is. Our intellect only can experience is. You can never experience not is. Know some of your experience? There's no horns on my. Are there horns on my head? Do you see horns on my head? Hopefully not. That means that you see non-existent horn. I mean, horns do not exist. So you see the non-existence is not? No. When you say there are no horns on the Swami's head, you first imagine horn, put them here, and then see they are not there. So only with reference to the horn, you can say horns are not. You can't say are not. Even non-existence also is always the reference to something existing. Non-existence, the mind cannot imagine. Vedanta, there is no such thing as non-existence. The Nyayikas are also their friends, all kinds of non-existence. Imagine prior non-existence, posterior non-existence. Very, you can become this wrong theory can be elaborated. You can mix books and books out of this, and then huge arguments, and we get so confused, with their arguments. We can't reply their arguments. But this all simple thing is this: that non-existence, there is no non-existence, because nobody can experience non-existence. If something is there, you should be able to experience it. When the Buddha say that everything is moment, kshanikam, do you experience kshanikam? That Atma is momentary, every momentary consciousness. How do you say that? Because there is no continuity in the universe. Everything is, this is quantum theory. Means no continuity. Look, when you see a flame, it looks like it's the same flame. It's not the same flame. Every moment a new flame is arising, but it arises so fast that you cannot see that. When you see movie on the screen, we think that is a continuous movie. Is it not so? Is it continuous movie? No. There are frames. They move so fast that they create the appearance of continuity. So the Buddha say that there is no such thing as nityam. Everything is kshanikam. Everything is constantly changing. And what you think is stable is also not stable. Every moment a new flame comes out. And that is how. So even though it looks continuous, there's no continuity. What is that is momentary, constant change. So Atma you think is continuous, is nitya, is also constantly changing. This is all theory. Have you experienced momentary Atma? That you cannot. Because the experience is momentary. You experience the next moment is gone. Who is there to say that is momentary? So all this figment of imagination, you sit there in your armchair and arrive at all kind of theories and distract people in trying to imagine momentary nature. But they have a different purpose for this. All momentary, give them up. The whole idea is to create vairagya. That's the whole idea for this prakriya. Prakriya of all momentary. This nothing is nityam. Give it up. It looks nityam. It's all momentary. Give it up. So this is to give up, and so the mind becomes inward looking, so that then you can experience your nirvana, etc. So this whole prakriya they have adopted for enabling the mind to be withdrawn, because there is a lot of attachment to things. How do you create detachment? By recognizing this is all momentary. It's nothing like permanent. Everything is impermanent. Sarvam kshanikam, some dukkham. Because impermanent is taken as permanent, and so disappointment. They are always dukkham. Sarvam dukkham. Sarvam kshanikam. Sarvam shunyam. Sarvam swasma. The four things are there. Anyway, so they will make fun of us also in their classes. Remember Swami, our Swami used to make a lot of fun about Dvaitin like that, people and all students would laugh. But you go to their class, then they will do this. and make equal fun. If you are in their territory, then that's what they do to you. If they're in our territory, this is what we do to them. Anyway, but only Advaita makes sense. Nothing else makes sense in the universe. Truth has to be one. Only non-duality alone makes sense. Duality doesn't make sense at all. Because as we say, and Swamiji said, nobody loves non-duality. Nobody loves duality. Everybody loves non-duality. And love is only when there is non-duality. There can be love when there is separation. There can be happiness when there is separation. Simple things. How do you justify duality? We don't know. Somehow they do. But non-duality can only be truth. Think about it. You don't have to swallow this, but think from your own experiences that what do we love? Do we love non-duality or duality? What we are trying, when we try to form a group, is to try to create oneness among the various things. That's our attempt always to form a nation, form a state, form a group, form this, form that. We're trying to create oneness among many things. Then we feel comfortable. Not when people go away, when he has gone away. Then we don't like when there is duality, separation. Anyway, so Namarupe Vyakarvani iti. This Devata said, I will bring clearly into manifestation names and forms which were already unmanifest. They were not non-existent, existent, but unmanifest. So sometimes they equate unmanifest with non-existence. No. Unmanifest is one thing, non-existence is a different thing. So they say sleep also is non-existence. No. Sleep is also unmanifest. So unmanifest names and forms are brought to manifestation. This is called creation. Creation is bringing to manifestation what is already there as unmanifest. The effect is potentially there in the cause. It's called Satkaryavada, existence of effect potentially in the cause. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Shanti Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashto Vande Bhavanto Punaha Ishvaro Gurave Murveda Vibhavine Vyomavad Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. There's one announcement. On this Sunday, we are offering a Bhandara. I realize that all of us, the Bhandara is being offered on behalf of all the campers. So then there was a request, Swamiji, we should be present in Bhandara. We are offering it. So we are making a certain change